Kitchen. This is Chef Paul with the ever so smelly Chef Amy and Alex with us today.
Hello.
So today we're doing a video on stuffed peppers. Amy always told me last night she wanted to get stuffed, so stuffed peppers. Amy, what do you think?
Looks really good.
So let's take a bite and see what we think. Really good?
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned and we'll start cooking some stuffed pepper for you. Welcome to Paul's Kitchen. This is Chef Paul. With me today is Chef Amy.
Hi.
And we also have Alex with us.
Hi.
Thanks for coming with us, Alex.
No
Today
problem.
we're going to do something special that Amy's been crying about. She even threatened to whip me tonight if I didn't make this for her.
No.
I'm just joking. But what she really wanted was some stuffed peppers. So, Terho, this is our famous Amy-approved ghost pepper sauce.
From the Indian store.
From an actual Indian store.
I have some too.
Alex has it. He likes it. I'm going to put a good little amount there. Amy likes to sweat. She ain't happy if she's not. And I'm not joking. And this is some spicy tomato ketchup. If you search around, you can probably find that. Like most bottles of ketchup, it's a little bit of a pain. Now this is my recommended serving, but doesn't mean you have to do it this way. Then I got some apple cider vinegar, and this is an important thing. It's really good for you. Then I've got some sweet chili sauce, and this is one of our favorites. I'm going to use quite a bit of this. I'm telling you right now, if you're not a fan of heat, don't use this. I might suggest using some tomato paste, some tomato sauce paste like spaghetti sauce. That works just as good. And some gochujang. It's a Korean thing. It's wing sauce, but it's really good. And for Valentine's Day, my gift to Amy is a nice sink full of dishes to clean. She loves that. And what else do we have that we're going to use? And the only actual other thing I'm going to add is smoked paprika and onion powder. I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to use this when we put the meat in. Now this is going to take a little bit of time because Amy's also going to go in and she's got to get the peppers ready. But you know, we'll get that. So we're going to take this for now and we're going to stir this in. We're not going to need this until the very end of the stuffed process. Now I need to know how good this tastes. Amy, you come here for a second, please.
Yep.
Close your eyes and open your mouth. I got a nice surprise for you.
That's really hot.
How hot it's hot.
Very, but it has good flavor.
This is really hot right now.
Ooh. Yeah, that's really hot.
Amy shows how hot it is.
It's really hot.
Once it's with the vegetables and everything else, the flavor, the heat will mellow down a little bit. But we'll see. Hopefully it's not so bad so I can actually eat it. But
Yeah.
I'm the one that has a little bit of an issue not being able to handle it. But we'll see. I got some onions that we got chopped up. And we found this really cool thing of garlic and ginger paste. So I'm just going to get 2 really good spoonfuls of this, because this is like some of the best stuff you can have. I would encourage anybody to open up to the idea of having a lot of ginger and garlic. It helps. You taste much better for it. So we're just going to give this a nice little stir. If you wanted to put some curry powder in here at this point, you can. I'm not going to, because I don't think you need it. The vegetables and everything else that we have should really give it a nice rich flavor. So Amy, while I'm doing that, could you please open this up for me so we can stick this on the stove? I find sometimes people like to put too much emphasis on adding a lot of spices and a lot of sauces. I like having sauce, obviously. But sometimes it's better to have your contents do the talking for you.
It's not all defrosted.
It's alright, it'll defrost in here.
Like the majority isn't.
That's alright. You'll break down as it goes. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to cook this down until the meat's almost finely cooked. And if your hamburger's not 100% thawed out and it's actually taken way longer than I thought it would, it's not a big deal. Stick it on the, stick it in, and it will slowly start to come together as it starts to heat up. Now, with this being your dish, if you want to make this more Indian, use some curry powder, use a little bit of coconut with it. You want to make this Mexican, use some cilantro, use some other chilies. Like, you can use whatever you want. I'm not making this to adhere to any one culture. Amy and I, and actually Alex is pretty much the same. We like food from a lot of different cultures.
Yeah.
So it's nothing for us to sit here and throw together a meal that might have, you might even look like it. It's like, oh my gosh, that looks like there's some Chinese. There's some Korean, there's some Indian in this one right away, and some Mexican.
And you can use chicken if you want to.
Yeah, you can use chicken. When you're making stuffed peppers, I would always recommend using something a little bit more fatty. I'm not a big advocate for fat, but with stuffed peppers, you kind of want something that has a little bit more flavor to it. No, I'm not saying that you need something that's really, really fatty. You don't. Like, don't even add salt to it. But if you were to say add like ground chicken, I wouldn't do it because it doesn't really have any fat at all. You want to have some. Like, I'm not going to be one of these guys that say, you know, like, no fat, no fat, no fat. If you can reduce your sugar, you know, go for it. If you can reduce your fat, do it. But you gotta have some. I'm not gonna be like some of these really expensive chefs and say, well, if you don't have any fat, you don't have any flavor. I disagree with that a lot, because honestly, I don't really cook with a whole lot of it myself, and my food has flavor. And yes, I mean, I know if I added bacon to this, it would probably add quite a bit of different flavor levels to it. But at the same time, I kind of like the idea of having the meal being a little bit more on the healthier side, right? You don't need to get yourself out and go crazy for having nothing or having all of it. You know, everything in a medium. Now, I gotta say something to Amy in front of you guys.
Aw.
This is my wife. I met this woman 18, 19 years ago as of last Saturday, February the 10th, my birthday. I don't believe in Valentine's Day. I think it's corporate greed that lashes to people to spend all their money to the actual stores instead of doing something thoughtful and meaningful to their wife. It's garbage. It's fraudulent. I got my wife a rose. It's not that she doesn't deserve more. It's because it was within her budget and it showed that we love her, that I love her. I love my wife very much, and I don't need to go spend $1,000 for a mere meal, a dozen roses, and something stupid. Or be like somebody else I once knew that insisted they go out and spend $14,000 on a ring just to cheat on him a month later. I don't buy that. Valentine's Day is me just telling my wife how much I love her without having to sit and screw us financially for it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to say that.
Valentine's Day can be any day of the year.
It should be every day of the year.
Yeah.
I don't need corporate America to tell me, how to celebrate my love to my wife. Because corporate America's love and passion is the almighty dollar. I don't buy into that. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I completely agree. Corporate America is all about greed.
Yep. So, gentlemen, if you really want to show your love to your significant other, if she really loves you, she'll understand the value of putting your foot down to refuse to listen to everybody else during Valentine's Day. You love your wife, every day is Valentine's Day. And if she loves you, she won't expect roses and everything else on the most expensive day of the year. Hey, I guarantee you I can go back out to any restaurant right now and pay half price what everybody paid last night. And it doesn't mean that I love my wife any less. It just means I have more things to do with my money, that things we actually need, rather than wasting money on everything else that we don't. And it's the truth. Now, as you see, this has not been in here very long. It really hasn't. And the meat's almost broken up now. Like what you do is you take your meat, you take a bowl, fill it with water, and just drop your meat in it, and usually it'll defrost pretty quick. You stick it in the fridge. Don't leave it out because that's how bacteria grows. So never ever do that. Put it in the fridge with water in a container. In a couple hours, it should be good. For whatever reason, this didn't work for us today. It normally does. It is what it is. Now, with that being said, because it's taken longer for all the meat to be ready to cook, you really want to make sure that before you proceed with the rest of it, that you're making sure that everything is, that the meat is actually ready. Because if you don't, you'll have some of the meat that's cooked and some of it isn't, and then you're going to food poison people. So she's pretty much broken down now.
Oh!
Get that, Amy, please. Thank you.
Oh!
So, if you're looking here, you can pretty much almost tell if you're not paying attention, it would almost look like it's all ready. It's not, because if you pay closer attention, there's still some that's a little pink. That has to be no pink. We all know Amy likes her pink.
Not for me.
But food-wise, food that is pink is bad. Put anything else pink in your mouth is alright.
No.
Take it however way you want it. I don't know where Amy's going with it, but whatever. I'm talking about the pink Valentine's Day candy. I don't know what the heck you're thinking. Wow. Alright, so what do you think here, Amy?
Looks good.
Well, get over here and look.
It looks good.
Everything looks like it's all cooked now?
Yeah.
Alright.
That does look good.
The reason I ask is Chef Paul's a little colorblind. So pink and beef color is kind of similar to me, so yeah. So now I'm going to add in some carrots I had put through food processor. Now I'm going to put in some olives. Then, strangely enough, I also put through the food processor. I love food processors. I don't really want to need to have a huge bite in your mouth over olives. And like I said, this is your meal. If you don't like olives, you don't even have to include them. Put something else.
I like olives.
Yeah. Some people do, some people don't.
They're really healthy though.
They're really healthy and they're good for you. So what else do we have here?
Rice.
Yep, and no, we're good. Now I'm just going to grab a spoon from here. Now before I go any further, because I still got more rice to do, I'm going to break the rice down because I don't want to have a huge clump of rice and veggies and everything else. It would taste very good. Now, this is also quite a bit stuff, so I mean, we're not making this many peppers, but you can have this for a meal the next day. Like, just because you got more stuffing than you have peppers to deal with, doesn't mean you have to go to the store and buy more peppers. You can, you don't have to. Now, that's all about the rice that I really want to use. And I think we got more than enough here. What do you think, Amy?
Yeah, we do. We have plenty.
Yeah.
Alright, so now I'm going to stir the sauce in here. Anytime you're cooking and you're making your sauce, I would always encourage you to use apple cider as much as you can. It may not necessarily have the best taste in the world, but when you're mixing with other things, you don't never taste it again. But it adds a lot of different characteristics to you. It actually makes things taste much better. So we're almost done here. This stage anyways. You want to make sure you coat this, because if you don't, what's going to end up happening is you'll get a small clump of sauce, really concentrated, and somebody like, say, Amy goes to take a bite, and she'll start crying. You don't know this tears of love and happiness because you fed her something so amazing, or probably a tear of pain because it killed her. Speaking of killing her,
You want me to try it?
take a small taste test, Amy, and tell me what you think. A small taste test, not a big
I
taste
know.
test.
I was trying to get it small.
How is it?
Excellent.
How hot?
Pretty hot.
Pretty hot. Did it die down any?
No, not really.
Carol, I'm telling you, buddy, you're gonna really like this. This is really good. It's really hot, but really good. Okay, now for the cheese. And then we're pretty much done this stuff.
Will you be able to eat it, hon?
I don't know. We'll see. We can turn the heat off at this point because I don't think we need it on anymore. I'm going to bring it over to this corner. Amy's got a lot to clean up here.
Yeah, I do.
Dirty Amy. So we're just going to make sure the cheese is all mixed in here. And you're going to see it's not going to take very long for everything to melt in. And you're not going to see a whole lot of white rice left, if you see any. Okay, so at this point what we're going to do is I'm actually going to have Amy cut and prep the peppers. I'm going to turn the oven on to 350. Of course, I'm not even paying attention. We're going to preheat that. We're going to get everything ready because everything else takes a little bit of time. And this is great. You can cook this and put this in Tupperware for the next night, come home and just stop it tomorrow and cook it later. You don't have to do this all today.
No.
You really don't. But I mean,
You could cook the rice and leave the rice overnight.
yeah, you have day old rice. That works better. But I mean, you look at this,
Looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
it really amazing, and it's going to be really hot. It is what it is, but Amy's really going to love it. So Amy, I'm going to sacrifice my stomach for you for Valentine's
Aw.
Day, if I can even eat supper tonight. Done. Welcome back. So lovely Amy got us all prepped out for the peppers, and to make things really quick and simple, cut the top off, peel the inside, and mostly we leave the top alone. Amy kind of didn't do that for all of them, but it's not a big deal. It's not going to kill anything, you know what I mean? So it's like crying over spilled milk. It's not a big deal to do. So we got that. That's really all it is. So we're going to take this, and Amy loves stop peppers. She's apparently wanted this for quite a while, but it, depending on, you know, how you're feeling and everything else, it may take way longer than you want it to. To each their own. We've lived in places where half these ingredients would get stolen and eaten within 20 minutes of buying them. So
Yeah, I know all about that.
I'm not, you know, cooking for people who don't even appreciate reality. I mean, hey, but let's look at reality here. We've all lost weight. We're all in the best shape of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, obviously we've done something right.
And the other party isn't.
And all we really want to do here is we just want to stop it. That's it. Amy brought up a really good point that you don't want to cook too much of this because, well, One of this is probably going to be good enough. And that's fine. We'll serve one each, and then we'll put them more into the freezer and we'll eat more later.
Yeah, we can do that.
Do you think one would be enough?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, with everything in it, definitely.
One of people's biggest mistakes when they get out of their parents' house or they get on reality and they have to do their own cooking is basically just cooking one big meal every day. I don't know where to tell you where to begin how stupid that really is, because honestly the reality of it is you're spending a lot of money for that one meal, meaning I could have went out and bought just enough for the three of us and that would have been fine, or I could have went out and spent enough that the three of us could eat for the next 4 days and just eat the same meal
And have something else for lunch.
yeah. And you know what the difference price-wise usually is? Like a few dollars. Meanwhile, if I go out and make a brand new meal tomorrow,
You have to buy new ingredients
You have to
every day.
and you end up spending way more money than you need to. And like, that's just stupid. Like, it really is. I know people are like that, and you know what? If you're making that much money that you got money to throw away, then it is what it is. Now, when I say that, you know, we're going to freeze this and we'll eat more of it another day, it doesn't mean that we're going to eat this tomorrow. I mean, how do you know that we didn't just we haven't made other meals this week and we're going to have something else tomorrow? Doesn't mean you have to eat this right away. We may eat this on Saturday or later in the week. Maybe you may take it to work with her next week. As long as you freeze it and it's, you know, very tight and stuff like that, and you can reheat it properly later, there's not a big deal with that.
No.
You're much better off cooking a big meal that'll last a few days than a big meal that'll last just for
One meal.
one meal. Yeah,
That's
It's
just
a
crazy.
waste of money.
yeah, it is.
It's a huge waste of money, and I don't understand why people actually do that, because it's ridiculous. I don't like wasting my money like that.
Plus, it saves you time where you don't have to cook because you have leftovers. And you have a lot of the filling left over too.
Oh yeah, so I mean,
We make rice.
I could
Yeah,
I could make Amy get more peppers out. We could totally do more.
We make a stir fry if we really wanted to.
I mean, this is your stir fry.
Yeah, true.
So,
All I have to do is mix the rice with that and we have another meal.
oh, we already got the rice, so the rice is done. Like, everything's in it. The only thing that you wouldn't have is the pepper.
True.
Everything's all basically done.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a little bit of cilantro on top. This is fresh cilantro we got from an Indian store. One thing about peppers, and we don't have a casserole dish right now, so this makes things a little bit more sticky,
Yeah.
but that's alright. Amy likes cleaning, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get in her way. The reason why you don't want to cut the tops off, it gives a nice little cover.
Aw.
And again, that's fine. No one's gonna.
so you don't want to cut them off all the way.
No, you don't. Well, you want to cut the top off, but you want to leave the stem on because the stem basically acts like an insulator.
Okay.
Oops.
But that's all right. I could sit there and make comments about how Amy never listens, and this is why this happens.
No.
But this is Paul being a jerk and trying to be funny rather than being serious.
Well, I can have the ones that don't have the stem. Since I cut them.
It's not a big deal.
I'm just saying.
It really isn't. I say a lot of things. Now I'll tell you the truth. I say a lot of things that I probably shouldn't, just to be a smartass. They're not true. Amy is a wonderful woman. She's patient. She's lovely. She's a very sweet lady. And she screws up. So do the rest of us. You know, but I like teasing her and getting a good lap out of her. So everything's preheated, ready to go. And watch us have a problem because it's not going to fit in the middle rack.
Yeah, that might be an issue. Or it may not be.
It's not.
Oh, it is for that one. Is
All right, so we're going to set this in here for 20 minutes and then we'll be back. Welcome back. So before we continue, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Here's our final product. So you come over here, it's not too juicy, but it's nice and filling. It should be hot enough to burn into Amy's gut. Terre Haute, I hope you appreciate this, buddy. But these are stuffed peppers, very healthy, and you know what? This is just one out of probably a billion things that you can do to make your stuffed peppers and do what you want with them. Of course, when you're eating them, you lift this up and you can disregard this. Probably scrape that off because it's not alright. If you want to serve it with pretty much anything you want, or we're just eating it straight this way, but this should be really good. So please hit the like, share, subscribe button, tune in to see more.